Hello students, welcome to the video session of web technology, and from today we are going to start unit 6, and this is the last unit of subject, the unit 6 with name web services. This unit is consisting of four basic parts, that is web services, EJB, CMS and advanced technology. So these four parts make the whole unit, and this is also like your fifth unit is based on the recent trends that are going today in the technology world. So again it becomes important as per the view of exam points, and plus your project work also will be helpful with this unit task. Okay, so firstly we are going to see with the web services, and under which we are going to see the overview, types of web services, and difference between SOAP and REST in this section. So before starting we will see what actually web service can be. So we all know what a web is and what service is. Okay, so but we'll give a glance at both the definitions. A web is scalable information space with the interconnected resources. A web interconnects resources like web pages, images, and application, Word document, email, etc. Okay, so we all know this is the web. It contains all the scalable information with the interconnected resources. Then, what a service is? A service is an application that exposes its functionality through an API. So, what is a component, you may ask? A service is a component that can be used remotely through a remote interface, either synchronously or asynchronously. So, it is actually a special application designed, which is called as service oriented architecture, that is SOA. So basically we can see nowadays there are various programming platforms available to develop any web based applications. Some applications are developed in Java, some in .NET, some are in Node.js, some are in AngularJS. Okay, so different platforms are there, but sometimes these heterogeneous applications required to communicate with each other. So if they are requiring communication, but the thing is that they are basically developed in different platforms, so it becomes difficult to set communication between them. In such situation, the web services comes in picture. What web services will do? They offer a common platform which helps the various applications built on different platforms to communicate with each other. Okay, so what a web service is? It is a software component which is developed to perform specific tasks regarding communication between two platforms. Okay, so there might be any platform used for one application, and another different platform for the second application. So if you want to communicate these two applications, at that time web service will provide a platform which will give access to communicate between these two applications which are totally different from each other. Okay, so we'll have a glance with these notes. So web service is a client server application or application component for communication. It is also a method of communication between two devices over network. Plus, it is a collection of standards or protocols for exchanging information between two devices or applications. This web service is available over the internet or private, that is intranet network. It uses standardized XML messaging system, and it is not tied to any one operating system or any one programming language. So It is providing service to all other platforms or all other languages, and it is self-describing via a common XML grammar and is also discoverable via a simple find mechanism. So it is possible to search the web services over network of internet and can be called accordingly. A web service is any software component which is available on internet. Okay. The standardized XML messaging system is used by web service for communication purpose, and all the communications are encoded through XML. Now, which are the components of web services that make web service so important in this network technology or web technology, that we'll see. The basic web service platform is XML plus HTTP. All the standard web services work using the components like SOAP, UDDI and WSDL. We are going to see these components in detail with the coming lectures. Okay, so SOAP is Simple Object Access Protocol, plus UDDI, Universal Description, Discovery and Integration, and WSDL is Web Services Description Language. So how does a web service work, or how does it give you a platform to communicate between two heterogeneous applications? Okay, so a web service enables communication among various applications by using open standards such as HTML, XML, WSDL and SOAP. It helps, or it takes the help of XML to tag data, SOAP to transfer a message, and WSDL to describe the availability of service. So it becomes a feature of web service as well. So under features we can see it is XML based, it is loosely coupled, coarse grained, then it will somehow support remote procedure calls. Okay. So along with this, the web services components become very easy with the SOAP, WSDL and UDDI. Okay. So it is using XML to tag the data, SOAP to transfer a message, and WSDL for describing the availability of services. So we'll see in detail what actually these components mean and how they are working with web services. So SOAP is an XML based protocol for exchanging information between computers. So the SOAP is a format for sending messages, and it is a W3C recommendation for communication between various types of application. As SOAP is XML based, it is a platform and language independent. That means it can be used with any language on any platform, and it is also very simple and extensible. Okay, so it also allows you to get around firewalls. Okay. So these are the things that are related with SOAP, that is Simple Object Access Protocol. And the main point of SOAP is it is XML based, so it is platform and language independent. Okay, so it also helps web services to get that service in easier way. Then WSDL. Okay, so WSDL also working with the for describing the availability of services. So WSDL is Web Services Description Language. Okay, so how it is working in web services, that we'll see. WSDL is also a XML based language for describing web services and how to access them. It stands for Web Services Description Language, and it was developed jointly by Microsoft and IBM. So as it is XML based protocol for information exchange in decentralized and distributed environment, it is become becoming standard format for describing any web service. The definition of WSDL describes how to access a web service and what operations it will perform. WSDL is an XML-based document which contains information regarding web services like names of methods, method parameters, and how to access the methods. WSDL also contains information regarding the operation the web service will perform. It is used for information exchange in decentralized and distributed environment. Plus, WSDL is a part of UDDI, that is an XML-based worldwide business registry, and it works as an interface between various web service applications. Okay, so WSDL is pronounced as WSDL, okay, and spelled as W-S-D-L. Okay, so this result is very important in providing web services. Okay, so because it is the language for description of web services. Then comes the third component, that is UDDI. UDDI is an XML based standard for describing, publishing and finding web services. UDDI stands for Universal Description, Discovery and Integration. So it is XML based standard which is used to describe, publish and search the web services. It is having specification which is used in the distributed registry of web services. The UDDI takes help of WSDL for describing interfaces to web services. The SOAP, CORBA and Java RMI protocols are used by the UDDI for communication purpose. Actually, UDDI is an open industry initiative that enables business to discover each other and define how they interact over the internet. So all these components that are focusing on services for different purposes, so that are combined to make web service. So they all are providing a way to get easiest way to communicate between two heterogeneous components or two heterogeneous applications that are totally based upon two different platforms. Okay, so in this way this component make web service a very important task. And then we are going to see the types of web services. In exam there may be question of 4 marks explain types of web services with advantages and disadvantages. So at that time we need to mention the types, the description of types, plus what are the advantages and disadvantages of the types that are given by web services. So we will start with types. So there are basically two types of web services. First is SOAP web services and second REST web services. So SOAP web services, we have seen that SOAP is an XML based protocol, and the main benefit of using SOAP web service is it has its own security system. Okay. So the SOAP web services, we can see by using SOAP we will be able to interact with other programming languages application. So an envelope is provided by the SOAP to send message related to web service over the internet by the HTTP protocol, and here we can see the SOAP format. What it will do, a SOAP envelope is provided by the SOAP to send messages related to web service, okay, by using HTTP protocol. It will send the message over internet with the help of HTTP protocol. The format of message is usually XML based. Then in simple words, SOAP is a mechanism which is used to send a request over the internet, and it will do so with the help of HTTP protocol, and in return accessing response in XML format again. Okay. So considering a real world example, consider if a client wants to get information about any employee by sending the employee ID in the request, he can perform this operation using web services. Okay. So this is the simplest example which is based on real world, and the applications which serve the SOAP request has a WSDL file. So WSDL describes all the methods with parameters contained in the web service, and with their type of request and response, it elaborates the contract which is implemented between service and client. So we can get through the advantages that are provided by web services, like it will provide WS security plus language and platform independent adds XML based application it is, and in disadvantages we can see it is a little bit slow and WSDL dependent. Okay, so in this figure you can see how the SOAP processing is actually done. SOAP is a technique to send an XML request over the internet using HTTP protocol. Okay, it will send the HTTP request. Okay, it will send the XML request with the HTTP protocol. Plus, if a client wants to fetch school student data by sending the student's roll number, so he can do using this web service. Okay, this is the another example of web services using SOAP type. Okay, so how will the client know which URL to call and what to send in the request? We'll see with this example. The server, here there are two providers, there is service provider and service consumer. So what a service consumer will do, he will request will be sent, okay, to the service provider. So what will be the request? To get student information, and the ID is sent. Okay, so ID is nothing but the roll number of student. So the consumer wants information of student whose roll number is 07. Okay, so what service provider will do? He will get and check the details of that particular student with the roll number 7, and will uh, get those details and make them in the XML format so that it will be understandable by user. Okay, so here we can see it has retrieved the name, phone number, class and address as the student data for roll number 7. Okay, and it is sent again to service consumer in the XML format. Okay, so the response is given as XML service. So this is the simplest application with SOAP web services. So in every application serving SOAP request, it has a WSDL file, and WSDL is again XML, and it stands for web service description language that we have seen already. Okay, so SOAP was intended to be a way to do remote procedure calls to remote objects by sending XML over HTTP. Today, the world is moving fast towards the RESTful web services because SOAP is having disadvantages of it is WSDL dependent, because in each application there must be WSDL file along with SOAP web services, and it is slow also. Okay, then we will move to the second part or second type, that is RESTful web services. So REST stands for representational state transfer. It is an architectural style, not a protocol. So what this RESTful web services will do, the REST architecture is followed by number of applications which are known as RESTful, and while SOAP targets the action, what does the REST do? It concentrates on resources. The resources are located by the REST with help of URL, and it totally depends on type of transport protocol for the actions to be performed on resources. So, for example, we can see in RESTful architecture, the student detail again we want with the roll number. Okay, here we have taken the example of same, but here before watching that diagram, we'll have a look on these points. So the application which follow the architecture are referred to be as RESTful, and like SOAP which targets the action, REST concerns more on the resources. So REST locate the resource by using URL, and it depends on the type of transport protocol. So it will take the help of HTTP, GET, POST, PUT, delete methods like that for the actions to be performed on the resources. Then the REST service locate the resource based on the URL and perform the action based on the transport action verb. You can see there are again the same service provider and service consumer. So service consumer will send the REST service request, okay, and it will send the URL with GET method. You can see here we have used the GET method, and we have given the link for that student information, okay, so that the information will be retrieved on the fast basis, okay, because already we are having location or URL of that thing where the data of that particular student is saved, okay. Then the data will be taken and in XML format as response it will be sent again to the consumer, okay. So the same service can also be used to make changes in the student data by sending new updated values as form data in put request, okay. So here we have used the GET method, okay, for sending REST call of that request, okay. So we can also modify the data with the same thing but with put method, okay. So this is all about the REST application, that is REST services. So next we will see the difference between SOAP and REST, okay. So with these advantages and disadvantages we have already gone through the differences, but we'll focus on few more points like what is difference between SOAP versus REST web services. So SOAP is a protocol whereas REST is an architectural style. Then the SOAP is having acronym for Simple Object Access Protocol, where REST stands for Representational State Transfer. SOAP cannot REST use REST because it is a protocol, but REST can use SOAP as it is a concept, and it can use any protocols like HTTP or SOAP, okay, because it is a architectural style. You can compile it with the number of styles or number of protocols. Then SOAP uses services in service interfaces to expose the business logic, but the REST uses URL to expose the business logic. Then JSWS is the Java API for SOAP web services. Plus, if it is also working for RESTful web services. SOAP defines standard to be strictly followed, but REST does not define too much standards like SOAP. SOAP requires more bandwidth and resources, but REST requires less bandwidth and resources than SOAP. The SOAP is known for defining its own security, where RESTful web services inherit security measures from the underlying transport. SOAP permits XML data format only, and REST permits different data formats such as plain text or HTML or XML, JSON, etc. There is no need to send the request or get the response in HTML only. Okay, and SOAP is less preferred as REST. Okay, as compared to REST, and it will the REST is more preferred than SOAP because of disadvantages of SOAP. That is, it is a little bit slow as compared to REST, and it is also WSDL dependent. So these disadvantages can overcome with the RESTful web services. So this is all about today's session. In next session we will be seeing the EJB component, okay, and CMS followed with the same. Till that you revise with all these things, and we'll meet in the next session. Till that, take care. Bye.